My name is Michael Carbonaro. Carbo for short, it says so in my yearbook. Class of 1975. A long time ago, but time flies when you're having fun. And I've had a lot of fun. My passion, which seems to be the common thread going on here, look the word up, I think the dictionary will be very interesting, is my love for comic books. My company is called Neat Stuff Collectibles. It's a 7,000 square foot building in North Bergen, New Jersey, filled with the stuff that dreams are made of. I travel around the country buying and spending money on collectibles. My other company is called, or was called, Big Apple Conventions. Comic books, the combination of pictures, colors, and words. I started collecting them at 4 years old. I first went to Catholic school, and at 12, my father, Tony Carbonaro, loaned me money to buy out the local comic book dealer. By 13, I was making enough money to put myself through school from 7th to 12th grade here at Garden. And I'm hoping I can help you guys make enough money to put yourself through college, too. Okay, I began selling comic books at New York conventions. Made a profit, decided that conventions were a good thing. I found my IE, inner entrepreneur. All this time, Garden School, this wonderful school, kept me steady and kept me on track. My memories in this gymnasium, Earth Day, moratoriums. This was the 70s, the music emanating from the stereo in the school lounge. I mean, I will never forget them. They're vivid and wonderful. I graduated and went to New York University. 9 a.m., got in my Trans Am, went to 10 o'clock psychology class. 12 o'clock, opened my comic book store in Spring Street in the Village. When the lease ran out, I opened my next comic book store in Forest Hills, Queens, on the corner of Austin and Continental. I was 23 years old. My mother, Bridget Carbonaro, Bridget O'Sullivan, actually, helped me negotiate the lease. I stayed 12 years. My mom, a nice Irish girl, came on the boat, another common theme, to America in 1954. Met my dad and never left. A sweet story. And now students, student body, all 134 of you, is that correct, Doctor? Here's the real center of our story. I always loved putting things together. I did a rock and roll convention in 1976, ran my own comic book shows in the 80s, but in 1996, a comic book promoter running a show in New York City, at the last minute he had to cancel his show. So myself and some of my fellow comic dealers found a new location at the last minute in the nick of time in a basement in a New York City church, St. Paul the Apostle Church. I remember it well. We saved the day. We became the superheroes. And so was born Big Apple Conventions. I bought my other two partners out very quickly, and it evolved into a kind of comic book celebrity appearance event. I have a kind of a cool anecdote relating to one of the first superstars or actors that we got. Val Kilmer, an actor. I don't know, maybe some of you know the actor. He played Batman, he was in Tombstone, great movies. Anyhow, when you have an actor or a celebrity in these events, you got to get the limousine, you got to make sure they get to the show, and that's the most important, or they'll turn around and leave. So it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and I have the limousine and waiting for Val Kilmer to come down, and he's not coming. It's 5:30. He's not coming. The limousine driver's going, I have to go somewhere. No, you can't leave. My star's going to come down. I'm not going to have a show. Everybody's going to turn around. I'm going to lose a lot of money. So I'm throwing money at the limousine driver and saying, no, don't leave. He leaves. I'm stuck there. Still, 6 o'clock. Val Kilmer still hasn't come down. I go. I find the doorman in the hotel. I say, get me a taxi. Anything. Finally, he comes down. I think it's 6:15. I say, Val, we're going to do this New York style. We got a New York City taxi waiting for you. He says, sure, no problem. He gets in the car. He's singing Doors songs all the way there. He tells me this funny story about when he was in New York. I used to run the shows during Thanksgiving weekend. Last time he was there during Thanksgiving, it was during the parade, and he was on the 7th floor of the Sherry Netherland Hotel. And he says, I remember watching Underdog go by my window. And that was the big balloons that used to go. He said that's when he stopped drinking. So I think I ended up meeting a lot of very cool people. James Bond, the man who played James Bond in the 1960s. George Lazenby, who I thought was great. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. We can talk about that stuff in the breakouts later. I've just met the producer of the Superman movies, Elias Salkind, just recently. Anyhow, let me tell you, running shows in New York City is not the easiest thing in the world. Unions, weather, silent clauses, last-minute changes. But through a combination of persistence, dedication, and passion, things that I learned from my parents and my experiences here at Garden School, I was able to succeed. I sold my show 12 years later, just recently, to an even bigger company called Wizard. And I get a check from Wizard every year. Kind of like hitting the lottery, a small lottery. But it was a very, very satisfying feeling. In conclusion, comic books and Garden School have been very good to me. I would like to return the favor to you, the student body. I wish to offer my experience to any of you, if I can inspire you to create your own businesses, start your own businesses, anything that you want to do. I'm happy to work with you. I'll be available to all of you. It's the least I can do. And just coming here today and looking at it and seeing everything, I didn't even realize how important the things and just being here, being there, being here was, and how it affected me. And one of the secrets of the success of Garden, in the breakouts later, you know, we have individual get-togethers, and it's 15 to 20 students. That's the secret. It's that individual attention that everybody gets that you can't replicate that. Anyhow, hopefully I can inspire some of you, and we can work together, and maybe I can learn something for you guys, and we can create some more businesses, and we can sell them, and everybody will be very happy. So thank you all. This here has some, this is just a piece of art by an artist named Jim Steranko, but it's an amalgam, a complete conglomerate of all the superheroes, ranging from what is the first action superhero, who's not the first comic book character, Superman, all the way up to, it's kind of the characters that were created in the 70s and the 60s, but they're my favorites. The Marvel superheroes like Spider-Man and Captain America and Thor and Iron Man, the ones they're making the movies out of today and stuff like that. So this is kind of cool. If there's any characters I can tell you. I mean, this guy's name was Uncle Sam. He was from the 1940s. This is Captain Marvel. He was as popular as Superman was when it came out. But we'll go back to the beginning and start where comic books began. Comic books started out as comic strips. They were, just as it says, comic book, a comic strip. This is a comic strip. This was the newspaper.